Arizona and Pinal County Sheriff Paul Babeu. Sheriff, $3.7 billion is almost double what we thought the president was going to propose, but you argue it's not going to the things that need fixing, right?
Right. All this does is further support Amnesty and the path for asylum for all these unaccompanied juveniles. And ironic enough, $3.7 billion is the exact figure the GAO had given to secure the border. That's what it would cost to deploy 6,000 armed soldiers to construct 700 miles of 14-foot corrugated steel no-climb fence and the technology to secure the border. And instead, what the president is doing here is wasting this money because there's no enforcement of law. There's no consequences for breaking the law. And what he's doing is sending an invitation to the millions and millions of illegals who will come from Mexico and Central America in the future by saying that your every hope of if you get to the border, you're home free. You're welcomed with open arms. And that's what President Obama has just done.
Apparently one of the things that will come up here with these kids who got here in these buses and what have you been rounded up is that we will set a court date for their parents, presumably, to come here and to argue their case or their kid's case. That, to me, would almost invite the parents to come and stay.
Exactly. All this reinforces the Obama administration's plan is to keep 11 to 20 million illegals here. There's no enforcement of the law. You and I, you expect guys like me to enforce the law on American citizens, yet there is no law for people from foreign countries who come here, disrespect our country and its immigration process, and we're made to feel somehow as the bad guys in this process. And this is America turned up on its head, and we've got to get back to the rule of law, enforce the law equally, fairly on everyone. And we need to put this money instead to secure the border. We need to send armed soldiers to the border.
I'm sorry, Sheriff. They say they are. Part of the proceeds will be used to secure the border, not necessarily with permanent guards, but temporary to begin with. There's this open question of what role the National Guard will play down the road. You don't believe any of that?
It's a lie. I've seen it 100 times from this administration. They've released dangerous, violent criminals right in my county, and they refuse to give me the names of these criminals. We have cartel scouts who are armed on mountains in my county that are ushering the drugs through all the way up to Phoenix, and this is in our country. And the Obama administration has put dozens of signs written in English in Pinal County warning Americans, danger warning, drug and human smuggling. Why don't we write them in Spanish, as laughable as this is, and face them not towards Phoenix, but face them towards Mexico?
Well, how did all these kids arrive here in the first place? When you ask the administration, they have no idea. But we rounded them up in buses, and now we've got this problem with 50,000 plus, largely kids, who we have to process now and go through the full legal labyrinth that is afforded people who are legal residents, but these are illegals, kids are not. But how did this get so out of hand? What happened?
There's no enforcement of the law, and this is why you and I should be scratching our heads wondering how we got here now when we have a guy, just yesterday we arrested, and every day 10 times deported, 15 times deported, because there are no consequences for breaking the law. And so when the president welcomes, when we have border security guards, we have actual agents at the border, they're not deterring illegals or unaccompanied juveniles. They are welcoming them with open arms. They're just, as the administration says, this is humanitarian, they're surrendering to us. This is outrageous that we in America do not have sovereign borders that we can protect and secure.
So what if the president skips out on visiting the border tomorrow, or even doing a flyover?
Well, I fully intend him to just do his fundraising, and it's just insulting to the American people and to the rule of law that he's refusing to address a problem of this magnitude.
Would a flyover be more insulting?
Look, anything, the fact that he's not enforcing the laws is insulting enough. The fact that he's not giving attention, he should go to the border personally, talk to the people who are doing the job.
Okay. Sheriff, it's always good having you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nate.